Hello and welcome to the channel, and if you're a new viewer here, then my guess is you've probably been lured in by the title of the video, and if that is the case, then I'm also assuming that you're probably a big fan of rail trails. If you are, then you will not be disappointed by this series of videos. Quite a while ago I did another best of Ontario rail trails video. And when I looked more recently, I realized that since then I've done so many more rail trails, and really a video or a series of videos covering this subject is well overdue. Now, because I've got so many videos on rail trails, I'm going to split this up into 3 days, and I'm going to be releasing a video each day for the next 3 nights. Tonight, I'm going to be looking at my choices from 10 down to 6, and then tomorrow I'll go from 5 right to my favorite rail trail, which I won't tell you what it is just yet. And then on the 3rd night I'm going to do all of the other rail trails that I've been on, including one that I seriously recommend you do not go anywhere near. So that's well worth hanging around for, because, well, I made the mistake for you guys so that you don't have to go there. So a small disclaimer, I haven't been to every single rail trail in Ontario. Your favourite rail trail might not be on this list, or you might not agree with my list. Everyone's got a different opinion, and that's absolutely fine. If you do disagree with me, or if you have recommendations of other rail trails I should be doing, then please leave a comment down below and we can get into a discussion about that. I would love to hear your opinions. Also, shameless plug, please, if you enjoy the videos, give them a like. It really helps the algorithm, it helps the channel immensely, and consider subscribing to the channel as well. Anyway, I don't want to witter on for too much longer. I want to get straight into the video, and we will start with my number 10. We have an awful lot to get through, so let's get cracking with my number 10 choice, which is the Omemee Rail Trail. Now, this rail trail runs from Lindsay to Peterborough and goes right through the small town of Omemee. And it's actually a really nice surface on this trail, really well maintained, and it goes through beautiful countryside. But the thing that I really particularly like about this trail is this bridge, the Dubé's Trestle Bridge. For a bridge built in the 19th century, it's an amazing feat of engineering as it spans high above the valley. And I think what I really like about this is just the beautiful scenery that it's set in. I've ridden on this trail twice, and both times I spent at least half an hour on this bridge, and it's so incredibly peaceful as well. So almost solely because of this bridge, I put this trail in my top 10 at number 10. At number 9, I've chosen the Hamilton to Brantford rail trail. This trail is quite a bit different from other trails in that for the first few kilometres out of Hamilton, it goes up quite a steep escarpment and through the Dundas Conservation Area. In fact, this little bit that I'm going through now, when I was going in the other direction, downhill, I was freewheeling at over 30 kilometres an hour. Once you've climbed the escarpment, you come out onto a flat plateau surrounded by mile upon mile of expansive farmland, and then as you get towards Brantford, the trail starts to twist and turn. One of my favourite spots on the trail is this trail centre, which is about halfway up the escarpment, and it's actually a pretty faithful replica of an old station. The carriages themselves are not replicas, they're the real deal, and I just love hanging out here. My number 8 choice is the Cambridge to Paris rail trail, and the real reason that I love this rail trail so much is that the Grand River runs along its entire length. One key ingredient of a good trail is a good surface, and the Cambridge to Paris rail trail definitely has that. This is a trail where you really need to be quite considerate. I know it looks incredibly peaceful right here, but the trail does get very, very busy. And not just with cyclists, but also with hikers and quite a lot of kayakers. And they tend to congregate around the parking lots and then also in Cambridge and in Paris. Paris has to be probably one of the prettiest small towns in all of Ontario. My choice for number 7 on this list is the Millennium Trail in Prince Edward County. This runs between Carrying Place and Picton, and it also goes through the towns of Consacon, Wellington and Bloomfield, which are stunning little villages. The reason I chose this is slightly different from some of the other trails. Yes, it is a great trail, it has a good surface and it goes through a lot of very, very nice scenery, especially farmland. There are an awful lot of wineries in Prince Edward County and the trail passes many of those. But the main reason is the county itself. If you were to come here for a cycling holiday, you wouldn't just be able to explore the Millennium Trail, you'll be able to explore the many, many beautiful quiet country roads, and you are surrounded on all sides by water. Many years ago I actually lived in Prince Edward County, and I can attest to the fact that any time of year this is a beautiful place, and the trail itself is pretty much passable year round. Away from the towns at the northern end of the trail, you ride right through the middle of Lake Consacon, and it's incredibly quiet and peaceful up there as well. I have a real soft spot for my number 6 choice, the Caledon Trailway, because it's the first ever rail trail that I actually rode on. It runs from Tottenham to Terracotta, it's about 39 kilometres long, and the surface is fantastic for most of the way. It can get a little bit rutted in the winter. And along the route there are several small villages with lots of places to stop for coffee, which is always a bonus. I do wonder though if maybe I've ridden it a few too many times and perhaps the novelty has worn off just a little bit. Perhaps if this was my first time of riding it, it might even be a place or two higher. I do hope you've enjoyed part 1 of this favourite rail trails series. If you have, please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you're notified anytime I upload a new video. Tomorrow on part 2 of this series we're going to be looking at my top 5 favourite rail trails, and we'll be taking in lots more beautiful views and meeting a few new friends as well.